All right, so first things first, you're gonna need the right catalytic converter. This is just the top converter. We're not doing the bottom right now. So as you can see here, under the hood, right up here on the right, you'll have the emissions information, EPA, and then mine is also California. So that's CARB, California Air Resources Board, ultra low emissions vehicle 125. You can see it's OBD certified. If it says EPA or federal, that means you don't have to get the California one. They're a lot cheaper. I mean, I spent $1,200 on mine just about. So anyways, make sure you get the right cat because you're not going to get away with cheaping out. I've been a mechanic for about 4 years now, right near master, and everyone likes to cheap out, and it always costs them. So top of the manifold, catalytic converter, EGR. You got a, I think it's bracketry over here on the left side of it. And then you have the bottom of the manifold, which you can barely see. What you're going to need also on top of that is a new exhaust gasket, manifold gasket, donut gasket for the bottom. If you live in a salty area, get new bolts because you're probably going to break the other ones. And then the EGR gasket. If you don't have a new EGR gasket, which I ordered the wrong one, you can also spray the copper, make a gasket on it. So closing the hood first, we got to get, that one has a cover there, and then this one under here. You literally just stick it under and pop it out. And I'll be right back because I got to warm some stuff up here. All right, so after you pop those off, you're going to have 17 millimeters on these. But before you pop them off, what I like to do is I'll take a paint marker right on the tip, and I'll say, okay, that's right about there. Kind of just wiggle it, put it about dead center. Yeah, right about there. Same thing as here. Wiggle it, kind of feel the center. I already marked them. And then you pull these off. Now these wiper blades are pretty easy. It just takes a little bit of getting used to for some people. So what I like to do is I like to pull up, and then sometimes it'll be a little bit of a, you know what, down here. So pull back, forth, and then it'll raise out. I'll do the other side here. Make sure you know what goes where. Same here. Pull this one up, rock up and down, and then off we go. All right, so next what you're going to want to do is we're going to pull this cowling off. So we got our wipers out, we got them marked, blah, blah, blah. On this side here, you're going to have a push tab. What I take is a pick under the first piece, pop that off, and then put this part under the lower piece under here, and then pop that out. You're going to have one there, and then after that, you're going to pull under here, right here, there's going to be a tab. Pull that up, and pull that down and out. Feel for the other tabs. You got one here, one there. Pull it. Just make sure they're loose. What else we got here? And then we've got another one here. So that's already up. After that's done, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to pull kind of straight towards me. So pull. Get this out of the way here first. Pull straight towards me. So I'm actually. That's not going to work. Pull it out here, give it a little tug. Same thing on this side, give it a little tug. If you have to close the hood, which we are going to have to close the hood to get the rest of us out, go ahead. I'll be right back with you. Okay, and if you're having trouble on the right side, or sorry, left side, driver's side, like I said, close the hood, pull it up and over this. And then on the right side, the lower end of the cowling, the plastic cowling, pull that over this, and then it should come right out. You might have to wiggle it a little bit. Secondary to that, we're going to have this lower cowl. As you can see here, you got a bolt here, bolt there. These are all 10s, bolt there, bolt there. This right side bolt, what I did, you can, if you don't want to bend the sheet metal, get like a small swivel, get in there. My car's got 200,000 miles on it, so rust is not my concern right now. So I bent this down a little bit. That was able to give me a proper route to that 10 millimeter there. And then following that, you're going to want to take this brake vacuum booster hose off. I'll just take, and you can see it sits in there as well. So yeah, take your pliers, pull it up, pull it out, get it out of the way. Let's see, back in here. I'm not too concerned with that right now. Anyway, so then we're going to want to take our O2 sensors off. So this top one, this is your sensor, number one, your AF sensor basically. Push on the back, pull towards you. If they haven't been taken off in a while, wiggle it like side to side, kind of move it around a little bit. This back one here, it's on the side, right where my thumb tip is. So push that, and then give that a wiggle. And then pulling that secondary one off, you can see we got a little rubber piece here. Pull that out of that bracket there. And then before you pull this first O2 sensor, you're going to want to pull under here. You'll feel a kind of like a tab, and I'll show you. Wiggle it around a little bit. Like I said, side to side if it hasn't been touched. Push it up and then pull. It's a bit of a, here, I'll show you here. See that tab there? That's the underside. And then this one's the same way, but sideways. So, and if you don't want to do that, I mean, you can also undo the bracket here, but this is the right way to do it. So I'll just do this. So we'll pull those kind of out of the way. And then, yeah, now we're gonna pull our O2 sensor off, and I'll be right back with you. And for this top O2 sensor, you're gonna want one of these styles with a long neck. You don't want a short neck one. Or if you want to use this, that works also. Just as long as it's not too thick, you can get in there and you're not going to have any problems there. So yeah, give it a good little, if you have to, if it's rusty or if you start to feel threads rip or you want to be super safe, don't be shy. Put some PB Blaster in there, put some WD-40 in there. If you have to give it a little heat, I would give it some heat right down here on the manifold itself. And then, yeah, I'm going to pull this and I'll be right back with you guys. Okay, now we got our O2 sensor out. Next, we're going to take this bracket off. I mean, you can take it off maybe outside. I would take it off now because it might hit your felt up here and tear some stuff. I gave myself a little bit more room down here. I took this second, that rubber grommet goes in here. That's for your downstream O2 sensor. Take that sucker out. We're going to take the heat shield off. There's a 10 millimeter there. One down there. Another one down there. And one right up here. All right, now for the bolts, I'm going to tell you some of the bolts. We got the heat shield out, pulled that up and out of the way. You got a bolt here, that's a 12 millimeter. Over down here, it's a 12 millimeter. Back to you. Another 12. What I'm going to do, because mine are rusted, I'm actually going to heat these with a map torch. Or with the other one? The blue bottle. Blue bottle sucks, don't use that. And I'm actually going to put a crayon, some wax on there after I heat it. And that'll be enough to do this by hand because I really don't want to get into the car. And then you have another 12 millimeter for this bracket here. For this side here, you'll have another, let me double check that. This is the EGR, I believe. That is going to be, yes, that's another 12 millimeter. Probably be best to heat these up, if especially, well, I'm in like 7 degrees right now, so bear with me here. That's why they're not coming off. But, and then last but not least, after you get all those bolts out, you're going to have these on, so that's the top right, top left, and then you're going to have, let's see here, where are we at? So you got a top right, top left, bottom right, bottom left, and then bottom, what the fuck, excuse my language, bottom right there. One's a bolt, that's interesting. I almost wonder if that was replaced before, but whatever, we'll see. So it's just 4 bolts, real easy. And I'm gonna pull mine out and then show you what to do once we're done. Almost there. I did forget to add, it is a bracket bolt. Where are we at here? Right down bottom there, so you can see it. So this is actually below, and this is above. So that's gonna be another 12. We got everything else out. You can push that back. Make sure you keep your gaskets if you're going to reuse them. Like I said, I'm going to reuse this EGR gasket. I'm going to spray it with the copper Mega gasket. Reuse it because I got the wrong one. So yeah, I'll show you how it looks when it's out, and then we'll clean the surfaces and go from there. So I'm going to show you right here. I pulled it from the top. If you kind of pry that rear tube back down there, pulling down back there, you pry it back that way, you can pull it, kind of wiggle it out. So wiggle it out, and then we have one last problem here. We got to undo that. It's a long 10. So we'll undo that, pull this out, and then yeah, we'll install the new one after we clean up. All right, now that we got our cat out, I will say on mine down here, I noticed there's some corrosion there or some dust. I'm going to vacuum that out. I just took the gasket off of this. You can go over this lightly with like Scotch Brite or razor. Just don't scratch it. It's aluminum. So if you sorry for my language. If you screw that up, you're gonna have a hell of a time sealing it, shaving it out. So yeah, just do your prep work right. You can see here I copper gasketed that both sides. I took it off, I heated it up after I gasketed it out. So just make sure you do your prep stuff properly and you'll be good to go. Okay, well now that you got everything prepped out, hopefully you didn't fuck up your head. Excuse my language. Yeah, so what I had to do was I had to slide this, if you focus this, I had to slide that donut. I put the donut gasket on that bottom part down there first, and then I set that. After that, I kind of pivoted out, set it on the two EGR studs, and then after that, I kind of pushed it down and then got it set on these two top studs here. I will say, get all your bolts set and your nuts. Just thread them on a little bit. You don't have to thread them all the way down, just enough to where you can set it. After you get it on the studs and kind of hangs there. The reason I say that is if something's out of alignment, you're going to have some issues. You might have to undo the bolts that you tightened already. It might be a little out of alignment. So just make sure you got a bolt here, two flange bolts, 2 bolts here on this EGR flange. You have remember that nut, that bolt that we forgot down in there. It's on, where is it at? Right down there on the left side, driver's side. There you can see it. Don't forget that one, and then just get these top 4 set as well. After that's done, I ordered some what I thought were the right size studs from Rock Auto. Lo and behold, it was not the right size. So lucky me, I'm able to salvage these. Now, the one thing you must realize, anytime you have old bolts put in a new material, metal swells when it rusts, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to chase these threads. We'll reuse the springs. We'll put them back on, and then everything from there on out is pretty much the reverse of the installation. I don't think I need to show you. You'll just have to put the oxygen sensor back on. Make sure everything's torqued to spec. I don't know the actual torque specs. And I don't have access to them either. I'm going to go pretty close to what the 2nd gen Honda Fits are. But yeah, that should be it. Make sure you clear the codes before you start. I've heard some people say they've replaced catalytic converters and it'll throw a code, the first 2 drive cycles and then go away. I've never had it happen. I don't know what they're doing there, but yeah, you should be good to go after that. And yeah, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, leave me a comment. Yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.